Bitcoin fell below 65K last night. 230 million worth of levered longs liquidated in just 60 minutes. But yeah, you know how the saying goes, when there's blood in the streets, GigaChad's gotta eat. And boy, did he. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy just made their 100th Bitcoin buy. And they did so during a pronounced downturn. The company continues buying, even while its enormous position sits roughly $12.4 billion underwater. Because that's what you do. Strategy just bought another 592 Bitcoin for 40 million cuckbucks. They now hold 717,722 BTC. Probably nothing, while some are panic selling the dip and calling for Bitcoin to fall to 35K. Others understand volatility is vitality. The fact we're able to stack here is a blessing, because if Michael Saylor is right, Bitcoin is overtaking gold in the next decade. And that would mean you're looking at one of the greatest information arbitrages in history. And the uptrend on our road to $1 million Bitcoin and beyond? Well, it'll be arriving soon. That's right. Strap in, lads. We got a hell of a show today. Yeah.
First question, do you see Bitcoin catching up to and surpassing gold's market cap by 2035? What say you?
I do. I think we're in a Bitcoin. We're in the digital gold rush, and 2035 is the 0.99 year. That means that 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined in the year 2035. If you want Bitcoin, you need to get it between now and then, because the last 1% of Bitcoin comes out over 100 years. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind Bitcoin will be a larger asset class than gold by the year 2035.
Bitcoin will be a larger asset class than gold by 2035. That's pretty hard to believe, especially when you see this. We're getting annihilated out here. Bitcoin has officially entered what analyst Dr. Profit calls stage 4 of a 6-phase bear market that could send Bitcoin to 35K. After topping near 126K back in October 2025, Bitcoin has cooled off, aggressively dipping towards 60K. According to this model, we're now in the sideways fatigue phase, where price grinds, hope fades, and half the market questions their life choices. Roughly 46% of Bitcoin supply is reportedly underwater, meaning nearly half of holders are giving the Kubrick stare to their portfolio. The analyst says this isn't the bottom. Not even close. Stage 5? That's the so-called capitulation phase, with targets between 35K and 45K. Translation, max pain, max panic, maximum why didn't I sell at 100K? There could be relief rallies toward 97, 107K, but he warns those would likely be traps, not trend reversals. The big picture, macro stress, regulatory uncertainty, and markets waiting on legislation like the Clarity Act. It's all adding up to fuel the bearish case. This guy's bearish case. And according to his roadmap, a real bull market may not return until late 2026 or even 2027. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is Dr. Profit seeing stage 4 or stage 420? I think he needs to lay off the hashish. But let's actually look at a few reasons to back up why it could get even worse from here. Remember when we talked about global uncertainty hitting record highs? Well, that was like a week ago, and a lot has happened since then. Tariffs off, Supreme Court says GFY. And Trump responds with 10% higher tariffs globally, GFY. Actually, the clarity in the decision appears to have emboldened the orange man. And that likely means more tariffs and economic warfare are coming our way.
Which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged.
Oh, and not to mention those guys that have been 1 week away from a nuke since 1984. There again! 1 week away from a bomb, allegedly, despite a few months ago, the bombing that would set them back years, we're told. What a great success. Now they're a week away again. Well, besides all of it being highly regarded, it doesn't stop there, because an operation that took out a cartel leader has led to complete chaos in Mexico. When you take this geopolitical chaos unfolding everywhere before us and also take some of these things into account, pending home sales fell to lowest level ever recorded. Credit card loans are now in serious delinquency, the second highest in history. The only time the percentage was higher was the aftermath of the global financial crisis. So is it possible for all this chaos and economic ruin to lead to a 35K capitulation event? Sure. But a flash crash to 35K would be the most insane opportunity in history. Saylor would call that a gift for the faithful.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more money than time and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
And also, guys, I have some good news that could possibly cancel that strike on Iran. And that is that apparently we don't have enough toilets aboard our large vessels.
The planned US attack on Iran has a hitch. Most of the bomb targeting crew are busy queuing for toilets on the lead vessel, the USS Gerald R. Ford. This is not a joke. A set of emails was obtained by NPR, a US public broadcasting group, revealing that toilet wars have broken out on board the most expensive ship the US Navy ever built. And the Wall Street Journal followed up to confirm the tale today. TLDR summary: there are too few functioning toilets for 4,600 sailors, and the problem is worsening daily. Problem 1, design planners screwed up by including too few toilets for 4,000 plus sailors, leading to 45-minute queues on a daily basis.
Leave it to the military-industrial complex, am I right? I mean, I know what you're thinking. Is Iran the reason Americans can't afford homes? Is Iran the reason that there's fentanyl zombies? Is Iran the reason our politicians are corrupt beyond measure? I don't think so. And there is an excellent arbitrage opportunity playing out to almost near perfection. And that is the short the state and long the sound money trade.
What we are experiencing right now, Danny, is an information or a knowledge arbitrage.
Yeah.
And so people just do not yet understand how Bitcoin is different and why it is the ultimate store of value and the ultimate debasement asset. They just don't understand it yet. There's a lot of confusion. There, the mainstream media puts out confusing and hit pieces about it all the time. They commingle it with all the other cryptocurrencies, and they just call them all the same thing. And so I have friends who say, "Oh yeah, I own that. I own Bitcoin. I own the Solana one." And it's like, yeah, they just don't get it, and it's okay. It's not their fault. They're just not interested in doing the research themselves, and they're listening to mainstream media and getting their news off of Facebook or their research off of Facebook. They're just not getting it. And so there is an information arbitrage that you and I are experiencing right now. It feels bad, and it makes you feel like, am I an idiot? Am I just stupid how early am I here? And the answer is you're still pretty early, because I think that Bitcoin is going to trade above $1 million in early 2030s. 2032, 2033, I would be very surprised if we're not touching $1 million Bitcoin. That's me. That's my thesis. That's where I believe this thing is going. But I also believe that part of that is that arbitrage, that knowledge arbitrage will close. And as that does, you're going to have the Harvards and the Yales and the University of Texas and the CalPERS and the Texas teachers and every pension and fire fund out there taking positions in Bitcoin as a core asset. And when they do that, that's when that knowledge begins to really spread. And people are like, oh, yeah, so Bitcoin is different. Okay, so Bitcoin is different. It's not just this moonshot thing. It's digital gold. Okay, then I should probably own some. And funny enough, is I think that that's going to be a much healthier rise for Bitcoin in price and a much more stable rise. It's not going to be this massive volatile thing. It's going to be like people are, oh, I get it. Okay, I get it. Oh, okay, I understand now. I understand how it's different. And then we'll feel vindicated and, we'll look like we're 143 years old when we're just in our 50s or in your case 30s.
Now Bitcoin is about to finish its 5th consecutive down month, and looking back, the last time that happened, Bitcoin followed with 5 green months. Bitcoin doesn't stay at these levels for long, and Tim Draper warns the uptrend is about to return with a vengeance and with more eyebrows. We're about to bring it home today, but before we do, look at our likes! Speaking of holding your own keys, if you're looking to reclaim your sovereignty, you're going to want to visit our friends over at the Bitcoin Way. If you're not running a node, you're not verifying your own transactions. You're relying on someone else. The Bitcoin Way will get your coins off the exchanges into cold storage and guide you step by step in setting up your own node. It's hands-on training from the masters of self-custody. And ask yourself, are they listening to your calls? Tracking every tap? The Bitcoin Way will help you choose a privacy phone, install a privacy operating system, and regain your digital sovereignty. And if you need location insurance, a Plan B residency is within reach. They'll guide you step by step into a Bitcoin-friendly community where sovereign individuals thrive. Visit thebitcoinway.com and book your free 30-minute consultation using that link in the show notes. Today's show is brought to you by Ledn. If you ever need cash but don't want to sell your Bitcoin, Ledn makes that possible. They're the global leader in Bitcoin-backed lending with $10 billion plus in loans issued since 2018 and a perfect record of protecting client assets. Why is a Ledn loan different? With custodied loans, your collateral is not lent out to generate yield. There are no credit checks. You can get funds in as little as 6 hours, no monthly payments, and you can repay anytime with 0 penalties. Plus, they publish proof of reserves every 6 months verified by a top accounting firm. Ledn gives Bitcoin holders a secure, transparent way to unlock liquidity without selling. Learn more at learn.ledn.io/simply. That's learn.ledn.io/simply.
Bitcoin keeps perfect records. It's transparent. It's open. Everybody can see it. So it's honest. And I think, and it brings humanity to a higher level. And I think we're going to see, I think it might drop a little more as as people have to unravel because they were a little too enthusiastic and they borrowed to buy more Bitcoin.
Right.
I think those have to be unraveled and then it'll resume its upward trend.
Well, Tim,
so I'm very excited about it. I think it's the greatest thing that's happened to humanity. Yeah. It's so great that we now have another way for us to all do business. And it's like as big a deal as going from nothing to shells or from shells to gold or from gold to the promise of gold. Each of those made the world wealthier. This is going to make the world wealthier. There's extraordinary innovation happening around Bitcoin. And in fact, we have this Bitcoin Phi accelerator that brings in all of these new innovations. As those innovations make it easier for people to operate in Bitcoin than in dollars. There will be less and less of a need for a dollar.
Yeah,
What did we learn today? Well, we learned that the world falling apart is an amazing Bitcoin buying opportunity. So short the state, long the corn. And there's no better time to cauliflower up those ears and get your 40 hours per weekend than during the bear market. And the possibility of World War III is higher than ever, which is probably a good time to visit our new sponsor, Sat123. Because when cell service dies, life doesn't have to. Sat123 hooks you up with real satellite phones, Starlink kits, and rugged off-grid internet that works anywhere. Mountains, ocean, middle of nowhere, it doesn't matter. If you care about preparedness, freedom, and staying connected when it actually counts, go to sat123.com. That's sat123.com, and don't forget to use promo code SIMPLY for 15% off. No signal? No problem. Let us know what you think down below, and don't forget to smash the like and give us a pat by sharing the Sound Money Gospel. We get a lot more coming your way, so stay tuned, stay humble, and stack sats. I love you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.